Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I would like to do a bit more of a sit down, chill video. I haven't got any notes or any scripts. I'm just going to take you through some sort of recent pickups, things that I received, and just tell you what I've been doing in the last few weeks and even in the last few months, just because I've done a few interesting things and I thought it'd be great to catch up a bit in a bit more of a chilled style of video. So I'm going to break this down into a few different categories, starting off with gear. The first thing I actually got was a new camera, which is called the Catch camera. This is a point and shoot reusable 35mm film camera, but that's got the body and what it looks like a disposable camera, a bit like a Fuji or a Kodak. But as I said, this is a reusable camera. It sort of reminds me a bit of the Kodak Ektar H35 that Natalie actually owns. But this is from a relatively new company based in London called Catch Cameras. And they've got a really cool thing where basically in the package you get film development, film and camera. So you can take your pictures with a film that's sent with the camera and then get it developed by the same company. I think that's pretty cool. I don't really know any other company that does that. I don't think there is one, especially not out here in the UK. So that is a really, really cool service. I'm very excited to use this camera. I'm actually going to use it mainly on a few trips that I've got coming up across Europe. More about that in the upcoming weeks. But yeah, I'm just really excited to try this. It's really nice having more companies releasing new things like cameras and film, which this company's got both. I know companies like Lomography and Pentax with their Pentax 17 a couple of years ago are releasing new cameras, but it's always nice to have new companies, especially companies here in Britain, because it's easier for me to get hold of them. So I'm very excited to use that. Another thing I got this month that I've not actually tried yet is Cinestill 800T. Now, I know it sounds shocking that someone of my age, especially a film photographer, has not used Cinestill yet, and it's probably gone past its peak in terms of everyone using it on social media. However, I thought I would actually now try and use this film because I've seen it so much and I've never properly used it. I used Candida 800, which is a very similar film, just a lot cheaper. The main reason I never really tried Cinestill is the price. I find it really hard to justify spending over £15 for a roll of film, which sometimes I do. My favorite film, Ektar 100, can very quickly go over that price, but still it's something I don't really enjoy doing. So I thought I'd shoot myself to run, roll and test it at some point. I'm not entirely too sure when. I'm waiting for the right moment. I'd obviously want to do some nighttime shots of it, but yeah, I'm very excited to try that at some point. Another film that I got, which is similar only in the color of their box, is Harman Red. This is a red scale film, which is sort of a bit experimental. I'm sure you've probably seen this kind of film already, but basically the whole image turns out red. I believe the ISO is 125 or 135 ISO, but I think you can sort of overexpose this film or underexpose this film and you'll get different results. I'm not entirely too sure. I've not properly used experimental film yet. I really want to. One of the first things I always wanted to do when I got into film was use Aerochrome by Kodak, but yeah, I want to be able to afford a house one day, so I don't think I'll be buying any of that anytime soon. But there's a few films like this where it's a bit experimental. Lomography, once again, I've already mentioned them, but they do similar films that you can sort of bend the colors a bit, and I just think it is really, really cool. Tried a lot of films now that are a bit sort of regular films like Ultramax, Portra and stuff like that. I thought I'd push myself out my comfort zone and try some experimental film. So yeah, I got some Harman Red. Like Cinestill, I'm not entirely too sure when I'm actually going to use this kind of film, but I thought it looks really good in cities and sort of cityscapes. So yeah, maybe whilst I'm traveling in a few weeks, I'll bring it to one of the cities I'm going through and take some pictures there. I'm not entirely too sure, but you'll definitely be seeing it on this channel very soon. Lastly is this Minolta 16mm 100D film. I think I mentioned this in my camera collection video a few months back. I'm not entirely too sure, but this is basically 16mm film built for the Minolta 16, which is a sort of mini spy-like camera. Now, I haven't got that camera. What I have got is the Kiev Vega, which is a sort of Soviet replica of it that was actually used by the KGB during the Cold War. Really random, but I've actually got 4 of those cameras, which sounds really suspicious, but it all makes sense when I make the video on it. But yeah, this is the film. I've had this for quite a while. Natalie actually bought me this film. I don't know how she managed to source it because I looked for it for ages, never found it, but she obviously found it in a couple of minutes. But yeah, I'm really excited to try this film. I will be using this film on my trip. Once again, I mentioned I'm going to Berlin and I'll be spending a lot of time in East Berlin, which has obviously got a lot of ties with the Cold War. So I thought that would be a good time to use this film. I don't know, maybe I'm pushing it, but yeah, I'll be excited to use this film at some point Only thing is you have to load it in a dark bag, which is something I've not used at all yet. I've got one, but I've never used one, so hopefully I don't butcher it, I don't know, but that is something that I'm excited to use as well. Another quick thing, I also shot my first roll of Pro Image 100 by Kodak. I've never used this film. It's basically a very affordable film that's 100 ISO. My favorite film, Kodak Ektar, is also a low ISO, and I thought maybe this could be a cheap alternative. I don't know, I've not had it developed yet, but yeah. Once again, I'll be making a video on this for another reason, but I'm excited to see the results from this. That is basically it for the gear. A few of the other things that I picked up are things like a shoulder bag or a fanny pack or bum bag. I don't know what you want to call it, whatever it is. Picked up a Uniqlo, and I think it'll be really helpful when I go traveling to put point and shoots in it, because I hate having to carry around a bunch of cameras with me, and I think having a little bag where I can just store my cameras will be very helpful. If anybody actually cares about the kind of bag I got, it'll be linked in the description along with all the things that I mentioned in this video in case you wanted to pick any of them up. Another thing that happened this month, as you know if you saw my last video, which hopefully you did, about me shooting at a football game, I shot for Hibernian when they played a friendly against the German club Essen. Well, earlier that day, Hibernian actually launched their second kit, their away kit, and I shot some pictures on digital on the camera that I'm using to film now, which is the Canon EOS M50, which is by no means the best digital camera ever, but I managed to get some actual pretty nice shots on this camera, and I'm really not used to shooting digital, but it was just much easier and much more convenient for this particular shoot. The shoot was not commercial in any way, but I just had a bit of fun taking some pictures, and I think they turned out pretty well. And every time I shoot a project on digital, I think to myself, why the hell do I prioritize film? It's way quicker, way easier, way cheaper. But here I am spending all my money on Cinestill 800T. It's kind of been a weird month for me. I haven't really had time to shoot a lot of pictures, at least not commercial ones that for me are that interesting. I've shot a lot of personal images, however, I've had some friends up from England who've come out to Edinburgh, and I shot a lot of pictures on that Pro Image, as I was mentioning, and just on a bunch of other cameras. One camera that I've been using a lot is my little Canon point and shoot camera. I do not know the name of it, I'd never remember it, it'll be on screen right now. However, it's just a camera that's really fun to use, and the pictures I think look a lot better than they actually are. It's a camera that I use solely with the flash, and it is more for like fun, quick pictures. But when you import them onto your phone, for example, they look amazing. Whenever you sort of zoom into them a bit or put them on a bigger screen like my computer here, then you realize that it is just a small, compact point and shoot digital camera that's about over 15 years old, but it is a really fun camera to have in your pocket. My parents actually bought me that camera in like 2011, and I'm really happy they did, because those cameras right now are so expensive for a reason that I can't really understand. I know they've sort of become trending on social media and everything, but they're not that good. So a word of warning to anyone who wants to buy a small digital point and shoot, don't spend over £60 on one. I really don't think it's worth it. You can get similar photos on your phone, just put your flash on, lower the exposure, things like that. You can really get similar images on cameras that are way cheaper. But it has been really fun just to put in my little bag that I've mentioned earlier on and go about and take some pictures. But to be true to myself, obviously I did shoot pictures on film as well, but I haven't really been out in town taking pictures, and it's something that's really been annoying to me. I just really haven't had any time. I've been busy with my other work, which is less interesting than going out and taking pictures, and other just personal things, seeing friends, going out, organising trips and stuff like that. I just haven't had time to focus on my photography, which I'm really excited, because the end of this month and next month, I know I'm going to have a lot more time to do so, and I've got a lot of really exciting things coming up, which I feel I just had a really busy summer and I've not really had time to sit down and focus on taking pictures, which is my favourite thing to do. So very exciting videos coming up on this channel in the next few weeks, and especially by the end of August, early September, I've got some really interesting content, and it's going to switch up a bit. I'm going to change up a bit when it comes to forms of videos. I'm going to keep doing these sort of videos obviously, but with my trips that I've got coming up, I've got some really interesting ideas that I'm very excited to produce and make. Last thing I will say about this month before I end up this yap sesh is that I am looking for a new digital camera. My main camera that I use is my Lumix G7, which I've had for absolutely years, and it's worked really good. Most of my videos were shot on that on this channel. However, the shutter stopped working a few months ago, or maybe just about a month ago, and I've never really been able to use it since. I was gonna pay to get it repaired, but it'll basically cost me the same to get it repaired than it would to just get a second-hand one, which I don't really see the point in doing that. So if anybody knows what good digital camera I should use for a mixture of video and photography, please let me know in the comments. I have got ideas, but I'd be very interested to know what you think would be the best. I'm looking for ideally one that won't break the bank too much, and just one that's got really good video and photo qualities. I've always liked using Lumix, but I've been really interested in getting maybe something like a Sony. I'm not sure. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. And with that, this Yap sesh is now over. Thank you for listening to this video. If you did enjoy, make sure you like. If you got a comment, make sure you comment it, and definitely subscribe, and I will see you next Saturday for a new video.